La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who do real well, who taught us the truth, who are still pushing. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out there still enduring the faith, the hopeful elect lady and her children as well. My name is Rapasha Wab. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. This is more so for Akim, as like myself. I was debating if I wanted to get into this, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into this, man. This is just share it. It's kind of like a testimony, a dream testimony. This is a dream that I had before I got into the truth. I didn't want to share it, but for real, man. But the spirit is on me, because we coming into a time of miracles, and we coming into a time now. I know it says dreams lift up fools, but that's by this point we should be able to separate to differentiate, the foolish, what's foolish and what's wise. Especially if you have the spirit. But this dream that I was in, it was like a wake up call for me in life, and I'm gonna get into the scenarios and everything that was going on too. But I'm gonna get the verses first. This is Job 7:14. I'm 13. It says, "When I say my bed shall comfort me," it says, "my couch shall ease my complaint. Then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifies me with visions." So the Lord can give you dreams and he can give you visions. He can terrify you in your dreams and visions as well, like Freddy Krueger. That's where they got the concept of Freddy Krueger, I believe. I loathe it. It says, "I would not live always. Let me alone, for my days are vanity." Okay, that's the point. Now I'm going to skip over here. I think it's Job 33:15. Okay, cool. 14. It says, this is Job 33:14. It says, "For God speaketh once, and twice. Yet men perceive it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man and slumbering upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from men. He said, he keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from the piercing by the sword, from perishing by the sword. He is chastened also with pain upon his bed, and upon the multitude of his bones with strong pain, so that his life abhorreth bread, and his soul dainty meat. His flesh is consumed away, that it can." Well, that's the point, pretty much, that I wanted to get. Pretty much, the Lord sealing the dream, and then it's in detail how the Lord is, sealing instructions in your dreams, whether it be, through terror, or whether it be, through a vision or whatever. These things have always been a part of our people. That's why I believe that's why I dream. There's some people that don't dream, but dreams do lift up fools too. But see, that's the thing. If you dream and your dream actually comes to pass, or is coming to pass, then necessarily that doesn't, that you could be a prophet, that might, solidify you as a prophet. But anyways, let me get into the dream. So in this dream, it was like I was probably, it was a long time ago. I was maybe 17, 18. I was, at this time, I was staying with my mother, but, I was actually working on getting my own place because I had been working at different factories and, moving around a lot. And then I had a dream. I got into how it is staying with your, relatives and this, then when you, going through it or whatever, I ain't gonna get into, what we were going through. That's, what I'm saying, but we had been going through some tough times. I had, I was helping her pay some stuff, and she didn't, according, my mother couldn't get it right. You know what I'm saying? She just overly worldly. It is what it is. She just couldn't get it right. So I got pissed off in how I reacted. You know, I spazzed on her. This and that, and I just walked out. And I came back, and she was asleep, and I went to sleep. Then I went as I was sleeping. I had a dream, and in that dream, it was like the whole, like everything was on fire, and I was sweating like crazy. Like when I woke up, like drenched, like nuts, everything drenched, and everything was on fire in the dream. Everything. And then and I even me, but I couldn't feel it though. I was just like, just there, but I could see it. Everything was on fire. And then I woke up, and then I was just, like I said, I was drenched. And then I went to her. It's like I got a sense of you need to go apologize to her right now. You didn't need to spaz that bad. So sometimes the Lord, you can do certain things in your life that's displeasing to the Lord, man. And you know, it'll cause you to examine yourself. The Lord may just want you to examine yourself in certain situations for a future endeavor. You know what I'm saying? But He try to purge certain things out of you, and that was always mine. Anger was one of mine. But anyways, I woke up, I went and I apologized to her, and I went back to sleep. And like I was, help my little brother. I was helping take care of my little brother at that time too. And I went back to sleep. I put him to sleep, and I went back to sleep. And in the dream, there was this like this huge, like this dark skin. He had a. I ain't gonna say he had a bald head. He had short hair though, but he was huge, like an angel or something, bro. Like I think it was an angel in the dream. He was dark skinned. He was huge. He like, bro, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. There was no, you wasn't beating this man. And he was so calm though, and he looked at me. He was looking at me. He was like, "I'm gonna give you one more chance." And I was just like, just nodding my head when I went back to sleep, like, "Yes, sir." And then the dream just shifted to like after he said, literally right after he said he's gonna give me one more chance, it shifted to where like I'm in a position where people are messing with me, right? And because he said he's gonna give me one more chance, I cannot react in anger. But they was messing with me. But it's like my spirit was saying, you better not react. You better not react to him like you want to. And you can be angry, but you better not do it. And in the dream, it was like they was saying some of the most foul. They was having a party. You would have thought that I was, what do they call that, those comedy shows on Netflix? That's how I felt, bro. Like I was the star of the show in the wrong way. And I couldn't react. And that just, I say that to say this. That's that fiery trial that we about to come into is going to be just like that, bro. If it ain't already like that in a certain sense right now, you know, uh, for me, it was anger, and it is, in some cases, I'm still working on. I'm way better than what I was. I'm still working on a lot of things, but I'm not definitely a new creature. But it's this walk, man. You got to be sincere in this walk. For me, it's anger. For you, it might be something else. You know, but it's not a bad anger. It's not a bad emotion to have. If you ask me, it's actually a great It's a great emotion. It's just over reacting. That was the big thing. For me back in the day, reacting. But the what about him? What about him? What about But it is what it is. I just wanted to get into that. Just bring that out. Just something small, a small little dream testimony, and how it reminded me. I believe that it came from the Lord, man. How it reminded me, our conduct does matter, man. The Lord is watching. When He's watching our conduct, He's watching how we treat not only each other, but how we interact in the world. In adversity, in, you know, situations that's not comely, like it says to us. He's watching how we react to these chastisements and whatever we get. So you gotta respect that, man. Especially knowing that he's bringing us back to the promise. So, you know, that's about it, man. I just wanted to share that. Kahalayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who do real well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful election out there still enduring in the faith. Shalom.